I mean, I've really enjoyed my time on the board. It's exciting to sort of figure out the policy directions and what needs to happen next. I've continued to take housing cases, and those cases hopefully have one at a time either allowed people to keep from being homeless or even in some cases stay where they were. Almost everybody that becomes a client of legal services, even before they're referred to me in a volunteer lawyer capacity, is in a bad place, right? Most people don't end up in a lawyer's office without some real problems, and getting them the help they need to stay where they are, keep their kids in school, get authority to put their grandkids in school has helped those people individually tremendously. And when I sort of try to multiply that out by all the volunteer lawyers, so then in turn, my work on the board, to the extent that we can turn that multiplying effect around even more and get us more volunteer lawyers to represent more people, can only help the community and help more people in the community approach the legal system as more of a level playing field than they would without representation. So the work that I did individually helps individuals do that, and then the board work and work as president is much more important, I think, for making sure that the whole community knows that it's their justice system and that that's an important part of being a first-class city.
I work at Affinia Healthcare, and I work with children with both emotional, behavioral, or educational problems. So Affinia is a federally qualified health center, and I think our primary purpose is to reach out to the underserved clients in our area, those who might otherwise not get any treatment at all. So we kind of try and fill in that gap in healthcare. I think it's very important for communities to come together to help people, and I think by doing that, we make it much easier for clients to be able to establish good care, good coordinated care, and everybody gets on board with the same mission. I find it extremely helpful for our families. They often are put in situations where they really can't advocate for themselves well. It's hard for me as a professional to walk into an IEP meeting and feel empowered to get what I think this child needs. And so for the families who don't really have a lot of idea about what the real legal issues are and what their rights are, it's even more, I think, imposing to them. So often if I try writing a letter or talking with the school and we're not getting anywhere on providing the services, we'll contact legal services, and they have been so extremely helpful. And I think make changes. When an attorney is there, they pay more attention to what is being said, even to what we say, and have been able to get children's services that otherwise they probably wouldn't be getting, and I think that really changes the course of their lives.
Prior to 2014, we really didn't have effective therapy, but starting then we were able to provide cures for patients. And we have a range of patients that we treat, from the uninsured to those with private insurance.
What happened in 2014 is the first of some new therapies that are called direct-acting antivirals, DAAs. And these direct-acting antiviral medicines were pills that were given for as little as 12 weeks, that had no side effects, and that cured 95+% of patients. So all of a sudden we have medicines that are effective, safe, well tolerated, and available, but very costly. We had these wonderful therapies, and we had patients who were being denied for coverage, and that made a conundrum for us.
After we met with Mr. Ferber, we discussed this conundrum that we had of how we wanted to treat all the patients and provide them this cure that had been long awaited, but we're not being able to get the medications covered by the Missouri Medicaid program.
The way in which this was important to us was it now meant that we could treat patients who were coming to see us for management and treatment of their hepatitis C. We now could get therapy for these patients.
You know, as a physician, we want to treat and cure everyone that we can with this disease, and to have a cure out there that we had been literally waiting for decades, that was easy to tolerate, and then be denied treating our patients, was something that we just could not, did not think we could continue with. You know, as Bruce said, we have effective treatment, and it did not make sense to wait until they got sicker or have developed cirrhosis to be able to treat them. So being able to provide them treatment improves their health dramatically.
So I would say the technology and the science and the pharmacology and the willingness of the physicians are all there to be able to make this happen. It's a matter of public health organization and political will to make it happen.
And already in the short time that we've had these effective treatments, hepatitis C is now no longer our #1 indication for liver transplant.
Right.
It's already had this impact in a few short years.
I originally was a client with the legal service to help me with my grandson, because we were having problems with the Normandy School District. My grandson needed an IEP, so Dan helped me get him back in school, get the IEP set up, and get him going on the right track. I was invited to join the board 2 years ago. I live on a cul-de-sac in Pagedale, and we're like family. Whatever they need, I do it. I work with Beyond Housing, and then I go to the evening board meetings that they have out there to help improve our community. If I can help somebody, I'm gonna get my blessings. I don't say, oh, well, I did this for you, you owe me. No, it's done from the heart. And that's just me. That's just me. I have a pure heart. But there's a lot of kids that need that one-on-one attention, where they need that IEP. So I'll refer them. You know, when I hear the stories that they're having problems with school, it's very important, because everybody can't afford a lawyer. So to use this service, or to be able to get this service, is a plus. It really is. It really helped me, and I've been with you all ever since then. And I love it. I have fun.
Grace Hill Women's Business Center has been in existence since 1999. Our primary goal is to service women in the St. Louis region who are interested in starting a business, expanding a business, looking to seek training, and even participate in one-on-one business counseling. Legal Services has been very instrumental to the Women's Business Center by providing that legal information piece for business startups as well as expansions. And it allows our clients to make informed decisions with their businesses. It helps us with our clientele because the clients have so many questions that when you don't have right information, you tend to make mistakes. And so with having the partnership with the Legal Services, it really allows those clients to ask those clarifying questions, how and what and why, so that way they can have that access, which they may not have had access previously because they may not have been able to afford the services. The fact that we really started doing services every other month, I think that was a great start for us. But now having the need to have attorneys come in monthly is even better, because that means that people are aware of the information that's available. They're aware of the services, and to have that 30-minute consultation with an attorney that they can answer those questions for you is very helpful, because so many people make mistakes. And if they had an attorney that was available to them, it's really helpful because it answers those questions. And so again, I can't say enough about the services that Legal Services offer to the Women's Business Center. It's very helpful for us, and I'm glad to be a partner with them and look forward to more.
Prosperity Connection is a nonprofit organization which exists to do two primary things. The first is that we offer free financial coaching to anyone throughout the community, although we primarily serve low-income folks. But people who want to build their credit, pay down debt, start saving towards some kind of goal, and ultimately obtain an asset that's going to build wealth, like a car, a house, things like that. The second thing that Prosperity Connection does is that we compete directly against payday lenders. We want to put them out of business, and so we do so by offering Red Dome Money Center, which is a nonprofit payday loan alternative. And the objective is to offer small dollar loans at an affordable price to give people an opportunity to get out of a predatory situation, and whenever they do have an emergency, be able to afford to pay back that loan and take care of whatever needs they have. It is absolutely abhorrent what these loan providers are doing to consumers all across the state of Missouri, but specifically in our community here. And so to have a partner that understands these issues, that cares about the people that are impacted just as much as we do, and are helping us in a different way to be able to provide solutions to people, that's truly, it's powerful, and we are just so appreciative. So everything that Legal Services is doing to combat payday lenders in our area and throughout the state is absolutely necessary. It's something that we all need to be cognizant of, and I think we should definitely applaud the organization for being a leader in this area. And it is incredibly unfortunate that we live in a very financially inequitable society, but being a part of Prosperity Connection, getting to work with Legal Services of Eastern Missouri and other organizations like it, we get to level the playing field more and more, and that has just been one of the joys of my life, to be able to do that.
I actually worked in a nursing home before I went to law school. It was a summer job. I was a glamorous nurse's aide in a nursing home, and the work was, I really enjoyed it. I just enjoyed helping people that couldn't help themselves. And I think those influences sort of directed me towards the area of elder law after I got out of law school. And in my practice today, I feel very strongly that the work I do is very helpful to people. I think it helps people have a feeling of self-determination. When you're dealing with powers of attorney, even though they're just forms to some people, it can make a difference in somebody's life. So I feel very strongly that the services in estate planning are very valuable, as well as the area of public benefits. That can make all the difference in the world. I feel that Medicaid is what helps us in our society. It helps give people dignity. I really enjoy working with legal services clients when I'm donating my time. First off, it's nice just to do something and not ask anything in return of somebody, so I enjoy just the giving part of it. I also just enjoy the opportunity to meet them, hear their story, and help them with their issues. All sorts of issues. And with proper planning, it can allow people that don't have very much to be able to pass that on to their children. And isn't that the American dream, to try to help your children build on what you've been able to build during your lifetime? So I feel very strongly that just getting these basic services, basic legal services to people that can't afford it can really help society in general.
I became involved with legal services through a colleague of mine, Jeffrey Miller. The past 2 years approximately, I've been assisting low-income individuals with legal work that is referred to me from the Hannibal office. I provide mostly family law services, orders of protection, divorces, child custody actions, and giving legal advice and representation to individuals that couldn't otherwise afford attorneys or couldn't afford to take their cases from start to finish and need someone to advocate for them and look out for their best interest and that of their children. I serve predominantly Pike County. Many of the homes you pass, it's very low income. There are a lot of individuals that just don't have the resources to decide whether they want to try to pay their rent or pay for their groceries or hire an attorney to help them through the process of maybe keeping their children or getting out of a marriage that's just detrimental to their well-being. So that area, if you ever go, you can see that the resources aren't plentiful. There are areas with employment, but a lot of it's underemployed right now, so people really need the assistance. I see it as a dual relationship where everybody benefits. It gets me more practice and gets them representation they wouldn't otherwise have. I would highly recommend volunteering. I would highly recommend to reach out to the local office and see if there's any availability. I think it, like I've said, it benefits both the attorney and the potential clients, and it will give you an experience that you wouldn't already have, and it also allows you to help someone that absolutely needs it. And I think in our profession we need to do more of that.
I had just started my practice at Hush in the fall of 2014, and Hush has a pretty stout pro bono program. And at that time, Jenny Schwendeman would actually send around opportunities, pro bono opportunities from the different groups within the city, and one came up for the formation of a 501c3 nonprofit. And it sounded interesting to me. I thought their mission sounded interesting. And I thought, hey, what a great way for a litigator to learn some corporate law. I met with the owners of, or the shareholders, I guess, of the 501c3, talked through their business plan, what it was they were seeking to do. And from that point on, I think I was kind of hooked on doing that type of work, becoming involved and kind of getting my hand in a little bit of nonprofit work, giving back to the community while still working for a great firm that gave me the opportunity to do that. I think it's only the right thing to do, and we spend so much time learning per the law what is right and wrong that it almost seems absurd not to do what is right for those that that need that help. So that's what drives me. And when you see that these folks who have almost nothing are looking to just find some way to help others, it makes you feel like there's no way we couldn't lend a hand to try to help that, move that forward. But the big benefit is that you go home at night, and not only do you know that you helped your paying clients, and that feels great, but at the same time you helped someone who never in a million years could have paid you for your services. But Hush has always been very, very strong in their pro bono efforts and have been very supportive of us bringing in new pro bono clients. Hush is one of the firms that values pro bono so much that they give us billable credit for the pro bono work that we do, and that's a big deal. To know that you're going into this client who can't pay you, but you can give them 100% focus when you're there with them, because you're not having to sacrifice your billable hours. And everybody knows in the firm life, billable hours are important. You can't get around that. But at the same time, you can quote unquote bill for the time you spend with these pro bono clients, and they never have to feel as though they're secondary, and they never have to feel as though, hey, I just got to slip you in here real quick because I got more important work to do. They don't feel that way, not when they're dealing with me.
Since its inception, Cape Sokol has been dedicated to providing pro bono assistance, and they encourage all of their lawyers to find causes that they really believe in and to get involved and volunteer and provide pro bono time to those causes. Several years ago, our business and real estate group, we spoke with legal services, and they had a need for some attorneys to help out at the legal clinic that they do at Grace Hill. And that's a legal clinic that is done in conjunction with Grace Hill's Women's Business Center. And it really focuses on helping young startups and entrepreneurs either grow their business or start a new business. And we thought that'd be a perfect fit for our transactional group. We've been doing the legal clinic at Grace Hill for a little over 2 years now. And each month, 3 or 4 of our attorneys go to Grace Hill and meet with people who have signed up to have a consultation with an attorney to talk about questions they have in starting their business. And it's both for-profit businesses and non-profit businesses. The attorneys in our business and real estate group love going to these legal clinics and helping out these entrepreneurs, because it really taps into what we love doing in our daily practice. We get to talk to people who are starting something new and help them kind of form their idea into a viable business. What I love about it is it's a monthly reminder of everything I love about being a lawyer. I get to help people start something new. I get to help them create opportunities. And that really benefits not just the individuals we're helping, but it benefits their family, it benefits their future employees, and it ends up benefiting the community as a whole when these businesses succeed.
Running for political office was the last thing I was thinking about. A group of elders came to the community, from the community, asked me to run. And so I thought about it and thought about it for weeks, and then finally decided to do it, and have been in office since 1989. Well, I represent the 18th Ward, which is roughly in the center of the city. It is a diverse community with several neighborhoods in it. Problems. I had seen this with some constituents and actually had it with some family members, where they were illegally locked out. In many instances, poor people and indigent people do not have the money necessary sometimes to get an attorney when it comes to civil issues. So what they were really doing was being just left out in the cold. We talked about what we both had seen and the need for change, a need for an improvement in the laws to protect tenant rights, and not realize that it takes a great partnership. So in this instance, we had a number of organizations, including the Legal Services of Eastern Missouri. Empowering Missouri, we had Kalila Jackson with the Equal Housing Opportunity Council. We met with all of them, and they provided their expertise and their impetus and their energy towards getting this done. What that ordinance does is it changes the landscape. As I said earlier, illegal lockouts, or the process for evictions, was a civil matter, meaning that if someone did it illegally, you had to take them to court. You could not get the intervention of the police force or other law officials in that regard. So what the ordinance now does is to also make this issue a criminal offense. That means then that the person who is being affected by, particularly poor people, have another remedy, and that is to call law enforcement officials who can intervene on their behalf and ensure that the process is followed properly. It protects our citizenry because now they can get, as we said, law officials involved on the spot and have a remedy that they did not have before. That is the significance of this legislation.
So at News 4, we're always looking for story tips, and those tips come to us from a variety of sources. And Legal Services of Eastern Missouri has been a great resource in terms of helping us give voice to the voiceless in the St. Louis community. We have covered a number of issues that they are closely aligned with that our public also has an interest in knowing about. And those include everything from yo-yo car deals to bad debt collectors to payday loan problems. You name it. When they send us a tip, we like to check it out. And oftentimes those result in high impact stories for our viewers here in St. Louis. We're shining a light in dark places, places that maybe would not get coverage otherwise. It's our job to make sure that the issues that people are facing in this community, specifically those who are low income or might not have resources to tackle this issue on their own, it's important to give them an avenue to have their story told. Yeah, no, and honestly, I think that the role Legal Services of Eastern Missouri plays is huge when it comes to these victims, because this gives these folks an avenue to have their problem heard by an attorney. And that's a resource they might not otherwise have access to. I mean, I was surprised when I found out that we were being honored with this award. It's something that I truly feel humbled to receive. I appreciate it, and I hope that I will continue to hear from Legal Services of Eastern Missouri, because the clients they serve and the stories that they have are important, not only to them, but to this community in general, because they definitely help people. They definitely get the word out about some of these bad practices that exist in our community, and their help is an invaluable tool to getting these stories told.